So it was 2009. I think it was September. I got admitted into one of the best high schools in my city. And I'm from Ghana. And whilst I was still in Ghana, I was living in Accra. That is the capital of Ghana. And this high school is actually St. Thomas Aquinas Senior High School. So it was all good. Everything was very beautiful, very fun. And then in 2010, my little sister also got admitted into another high school. And then fast forward, I was in my third year, about to move to my fourth year, when they changed the education system in my country. So what happened was I finished high school in 4 years, and my little sister finished high school in 3 years. So we finished high school together. So after finishing high school, my little sister got admitted into one of the best universities in my country, and I didn't get admitted into any university. So I stayed home for quite some time. And when you come from Africa or any African country, these things are actually really bad, because you are the eldest. You're supposed to be the first successful person in the family. You're supposed to be the first person to get married. You're supposed to be the first person to buy a car. The pressure is actually crazy. So, and at that time, I was actually playing piano in my church. So I was seen by everyone, and I imagined that everyone was going to ask me what happened. Why is your sister in school and you at home? So, yeah, I was preparing myself psychologically for all of this. And, my parents were very supportive. I I believe they were disappointed, but yeah, they were very supportive. And so she started the university, and anytime she came home, she was talking about how the university is and all that. And yeah, I was very happy for her, But on the other hand, I was sad for myself because I didn't get admitted. What happened also was after we finished high school and she got admitted and I didn't, I stayed home. I think this was in May, April or May. I don't really remember. And anyone from West Africa knows that we have this exam we call the NOVDEC. That is November December exam. It's for those who actually didn't pass the first exam in the middle of the year, so they have another chance to try. And I prepared myself. I went for extra classes. Man, it was crazy. The hustle was hard because I was desperate to also get into the university. So it was November. We went. I participated in the exam. I think it was a 2 day exam, something like that. I don't really remember. It's been quite a long time. And after that, we waited for the results. I think it came out in December or in January. And guess what? I didn't pass again. Man, it's funny, but I'm trying to get to a point here. So yeah, that is when I started to work in the movie industry. I started making a little bit of money, started going out with friends, so I wouldn't just be at home every time. And I actually started getting to know some of the movie actors in my country because, like I said, I started working in the movie industry and I started making money. I even appeared in some television soap operas, something like that. And it was fun. And then fast forward 2014, I went out with some friends. We went out just to chill, and then I met one of my old friends from my high school. And then we had a little chat, and then he said goodbye. I also said goodbye, and then went. And then the following week, I went on social media, and what did I see? I saw him here in Brazil. I was shocked. So I actually went and asked him, I sent him a message and I asked what he did and how come I was with him last week and today he's here in Brazil. That's when he told me that he got a scholarship to come and study in Brazil. So I also went after it. I went for all the information that I could get and I started the process. So I got home and then I told my folks that there is this opportunity to come study in Brazil, and I was really eager to participate. My mom actually believed me from the go, and my dad, knowing who he is, he actually didn't believe in the beginning, but yeah, later he also believed. So I started the process, and I got a call that I had got a scholarship. So that is when I started to prepare everything for Brazil. So all of this process, the Brazilian scholarship process, actually happened in 2014. So in 2015, January, I left Ghana and I came to Brazil. I got here, everything was new, a new culture, new people. Even I got to meet other Africans from other African countries, and it was good. So we rented a house, actually an apartment, and then we're living five guys, three from Ghana, one from Namibia, and one from Congo. So we're living together, and in the beginning was very good, and then later on, five guys living, definitely there are gonna be arguments, fights, and it got to a time things got very hard. You know, living in another country with no parents, it's difficult. So there were months where some of my friends couldn't even pay rent. So others had to actually help. For example, myself and my other friend, we had to chip in for my other friends who couldn't pay. And there was something very sad that happened, and I've never forgotten till date. There was one time we didn't have money. We were we had nothing actually to eat. And then there was this shop. There was this man where we used to buy all of our stuff. So we went to him and then we told him what was happening. We told him our situation. And this man actually went on and prepared some groceries for us. And what happened was when we got home, we opened the boxes, and what I realized was everything this man put in the box was out of date. Yeah. So he actually gave us spoiled food, and this really saddened my heart. This is someone who we supported by buying everything from his shop, and then when we needed the support, he actually gave us things that were out of date or spoiled food. So what I did was I told my friends, no, we're not going to eat this food. We're going to send it back to him. So we took the food back to his shop, and I told him what he gave us was out of date. I don't know if he knew about it or not, but yeah, we were not going to eat that food. That was one of the hardest moments of my life, living outside of my country here in Brazil. So fast forward 2016, I left that state where I was living with those four other friends of mine. And then I came to the state where I am right now, that is San Luis. And I started my course, my graduation course, that is graphic design. And it was good, but it was difficult because Ghana speaks English and here in Brazil we only speak Portuguese. So I had to use Portuguese every day. And there is a difference between the daily Portuguese we use during our day and then the technical Portuguese we use in the university. So it was difficult at the beginning. Anytime I was given an assignment, I had to read in Portuguese and after that read in English to be able to understand very well. So yeah, I started going out, you know, and then I met a lot of people who are still actually dancers. So I vibed with them, and then they got to know that I'm actually also a dancer. So we started vibing. I started going out, recording a lot of dance videos, posting, and my Instagram started growing. It started growing, 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 and in 2022, or even before that, I there was I'm a fashion person. I love sneakers. I'm a sneakerhead. So one of the biggest brands here in Brazil opened a branch here in my city, and I actually went for the inauguration, and I started buying all my sneakers, especially Air Max. I'm an Air Max guy. So I started buying all my sneakers in this shop. And then anytime I bought a sneaker, I'll just put it on Instagram and then I'll just write sponsor me and then the name of the shop. Sponsor me and then the name of the shop. And then 3 years down the lane, that is 2022, I got a message from them about an ambassadorship deal. It was crazy, from where I started to me receiving a message about being an ambassador of one of the biggest brands in Brazil was something unbelievable. So I went, we sat down and we signed the stuff. And from 2022, we're in 2025, I've been with this brand, and the same brand opened another shop that is affiliated to them. And then they put me also as a brand ambassador in this shop too. So, what I'm actually trying to tell you is that don't give up. You know, you can have a small beginning, but you never know where you're going to end up. So, I've been with this shop for 3 years now, and it's been great. It's been perfect. Here now, my life here in Brazil, I live alone in a small apartment, but still I live alone. I pay my rent, I cook, I do everything. You know, life has really been good to me. Imagine if I had given up when I failed the second exam. Imagine if I had given up when I didn't get admitted into high school. So don't give up on yourself. Show up for yourself every day. And I always tell my friends, we as content creators, sometimes we really doubt ourselves. When you record a video, a very good production, and then you get only one view, two views. I always tell my friends that that video was meant for that person who watched, or those two people. You know, every video that you make is destined for someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be millions of views, but even if one person resonates, to your video, it's perfect. So I don't know who this video is for, or I don't know who will watch this video, but I'm here today to tell you that don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams, because today you're in a bad situation, but you never know when you're going to end up or where you're going to end up tomorrow. So keep going on, keep moving forward. Don't give up on yourself. And I hope to hear your story one day here on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Joseph. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.